What's up, Legends, and welcome back to another ProGuides Apex Legends video. My name is Zephyr, and today we're going to be talking about the 5 best Legends to main. So without any further ado, let's get to our question of the day and then into the video. Today, I want to know about your favorite drop spot in Kings Canyon and why. Let me know in the comments below. The first and probably most annoying legend of all time is Gibraltar. His powerful dome ability, gun shield, and overall durability make him the perfect support for any lineup you can think of. But what is it that makes him such a solid staple? Let's get into the details. Be it early, mid, or late game, you can delay an enemy's onslaught by putting down your dome and playing for time. This gets super powerful if you're also wielding a shotgun. Briefly popping in and out of the dome while unloading your shotgun in their faces is crazy powerful. Something you have to look out for though is that Gibby's dome isn't a complete bubble. Depending on the terrain you placed in, you can be shot from below. This is very important to take notice of and to avoid. You'll actually hurt yourself more by misplacing the dome if you're able to be shot from that angle, as you're usually unable to fight back without completely having to walk outside of it. Next to that, we have Peeker's advantage in the form of Gibby's gun shield. It's another feature that allows him to take straight up aim battles that he'll win due to having more HP than the enemy. If you factor in the detail that he's also a fortified legend who takes 15% less damage than others, you'll feel what an absurd amount of effective HP this legend has. In addition to his already impactful dome, gun shield, and massive effective HP pool, he has his ultimate, the defensive bombardment. Throwing out a smoke grenade, which marks a 24-meter radius for a mortal strike, is nothing but a signal for the enemy to retreat. Pushing a team with a Gibraltar that hides in their dome once he calls it down and you have no cover is like asking to get wiped. Dealing 40 damage per hit and shell-shocking people will make them super vulnerable for your squad's next trade. Therefore, spraying them down as you quickly pop out of the dome is super easy for you and your teammates. Another easy way to help your teammates is by becoming a better player overall. If you want to hit the next level in the fastest way, go check out our coaches over at ProGuides.com. Next up comes Wraith as one of the best legends to ever exist in this game. She's a staple pick when it comes to in-combat mobility. This legend combines the great qualities of a Vanguard as well as impactful tools to help her team rotate out of every bad situation possible. Let's take a look at her and her kit. Whenever someone is taking aim at you, voices from the void will warn you about that. This comes in clutch when you're just trying to scout from a Vanguard point and want to gather some information. In addition to that, we need to talk about her ability to be an offensive and defensive mobility-based character for fights. For one, she can bail out downed enemies during any stage of the game, which makes it way easier to ensure that your entire squad lives to see the late game. Next to that, you can also kidnap isolated enemy legends into a position from which they can't escape. This trick is a staple when it comes to people camping in buildings. Go on a roof, jump into the air, and place a portal. After that, you're going to run into a building where the enemy squad is in using your tactical ability. Locate an easy target and pick it up. Shortly after, they'll drop out of the sky and be an easy target to gun down. Now, it's time to flip the switch and turn that portal into a defensive tool. Whatever the map you're playing in, you'll always find immense value in the power of rotations with the portal. Be it a mid-game skirmish or a late-game fight that's heavily influenced by positioning, always offering your teammates that jail-free card when stuck between a rock and a hard place is an asset you never want to miss. But if you have trouble finding the right opportunity to use your portal in the most effective way, you should check out our coaches at ProGuides.com. They'll be delighted to elevate your game onto the next level. The next legend that you'll love to main is Valkyrie. Pairing lovely in-fight mobility with aerial outplay potential and the ability to relocate an entire squad is exactly what makes her so powerful. In early game situations, you can abuse a neat little trick. Use your jetpack to fly directly over the enemy, that way you can force him to do 180s and completely mess up his aim. Also, while cutting corners, you can easily use your jetpack's momentum to fling yourself any direction you want. Combining that with advanced wall bounces and jumps increases your mobility and will surely confuse the enemy's aim. Similar to that, you're also able to chill out in super safe positions and play for time while you wait for your squad to bail you out. But here's the thing that everyone truly loves about this legend. In an RNG-based BR game where a lot comes down to luck with zones and loot, you'll always have a tool to overcome any zone in the game when you're playing Valkyrie, regardless of the map you play. You can use her ultimate Skyward Dive in a calculated move where you traverse the map to find a place in the already established circle, or when you're stuck in a very bad spot. Just quickly hide behind cover, tell your team to hop on, and fly off. The only thing that stops you here is crazy aim and maybe an arc star that attaches to either you or your teammates. I've seen it happen, and it's rare, but it surely can. She's also part of the recon legends that have access to survey beacons on the map. Being able to scan for the next circle's location puts even more emphasis on her ability to relocate. Always being one step ahead surely pays off, but it also comes with a tiny tad of risk. Isolating and exposing yourself while you interact with that beacon for roughly 7 seconds is ample time to gun you down. So please, make sure that you use it with the utmost care. Chipping in on exactly those recon capabilities comes her built-in jet fighter HUD. This lovely HUD highlights other squads and players during the first drop and other situations, and I'll tell you what, it'll surely help you get the information you need before you choose your drop spot. Being unaware of an enemy getting to a POI before you in the very beginning is literally impossible. The next legend is also playing around the theme of information. With Bloodhound, nobody is going to escape you. Being able to see the enemy's tracks and a portion of their actions is a really helpful tool. Thinking about Kings Canyon's reputation as third party's canyon grants the Hound some extra value when it comes to those tracking capabilities. To read those in a super easy fashion, you'll have to understand the color code of them. Gray tracks are roughly 1 minute old, whereas red tracks are fresh and it's more likely that the enemy is still close. Thinking about this, it's time to combine that with your tactical, the Eye of the Allfather. Entering buildings always comes with issues, but taking the color of the footprints into account, we can turn our tactical into part of our routine when it comes to checking potentially dangerous areas out. Once you think that the cues warrant for a scan, don't shy away from it. You'll reveal traps and enemies alike, and nobody will be able to ambush you, so say goodbye to rats. But what happens when it comes to an all-out brawl in the game? What can this information-based legend do for you? Upon gaining access to his ultimate ability, Beast of the Hunt, it's time to transform into the Ultimate Hunter. Again, we're going back to that color theme. The moment it's activated, you'll remove all colors from your screen and your sight will only see black, white, and red. With that in mind, you have only one goal: shoot anything that is red and remove it from the game. Every down you pick up will increase your ultimate's duration and you will stay the Ultimate Hunter. Nothing will stop you from seeing enemies. No gas, no smoke, nothing. However, it does have a little disadvantage in a few aspects. Number one, you'll let out a big scream once you activate it, which will undoubtedly alert people not to peek you. Also, since you've lost color, differentiating between knockdown shields actually becomes impossible. Nonetheless, this legend is a solid staple for everyone's squad and surely an optimal choice for a main. Last but not least on this list comes Ashe. Her placement on this list is also mainly justified by her mobility and her ability to share information. Adding to that is her neat little tactical that can limit an enemy's movement when they get a little too close. But let's talk about why she's such a good legend to main. For one, we have her passive Marked for Death. This shows you the location of all recent, and by recent I mean 180 seconds old, death boxes. This makes looting quite easy when you're in need of it during a fight, and you'll also be delighted to hear that you can share the loot box's location with your squad mates. That way you can direct your squad directly to fresh shield swaps, ammo, or anything else. Not only that, but you'll also be able to mark the attacker's location at least once per box. And if they happen to be dead already, you'll get the prompt that there are no surviving attackers. Those people will be marked for 8 seconds and you'll even be told the number of marked enemies. So if you're having a grudge with someone who just thirsted your teammate, there you go, hunt them down. To complete this Legends clit, we have the ultimate phase breach. Tearing open a one-way portal to a targeted location is similar to Wraith's ability to portal people around. However, note, one way. You cannot go back and it's either a tool you use to survive or to hunt people down. But here's something you need to know about it. Contrary to Wraith, you don't have to travel between entry and exit point to establish a connection. With Ashe, you can just slash in the air and open that portal up. Another thing you'll be more than glad to hear is the fact that you can even slash through open windows, which can create surprising rotations. If you are, however, on the run and know that people will chase after you, make sure to camp that portal and earn your free KP. As you can see, all of our chosen legends feature highly impactful assets that, whatever map you're playing on, will always come in handy. If you want to see some more legends that are specifically rated for the current splits map Kings Canyon, make sure to check out our legends tier list. See you there or when it's time for another Apex Legends video.